The Alabama State Hornets, the #1 team in all of HBCU football, got a big game on Saturday against Texas Southern at home. In his fourth season as the head football coach of the Hornets is Eddie Robinson Jr., who joins us here on the program. Coach Rob, what's going on?
Oh man, it's going good. Like you said, we have a big game at home this weekend, and this time of year, in November, all the coaches are doing the same thing. We're just trying to win one game each week.
No doubt, big win. I mean, a big win against Prairie View A&M, who I know a lot of people are talking about. You pulled out the win. A lot of people are talking about Andrew Body. I get all of that. I want to start here. You had to make two big defensive stops late and two missed field goals by Prairie View A&M. Speak to that. Your defense having to put the Panthers in position to try a field goal and them missing both, and then you ultimately pulling that game out on the road.
I mean, yeah, man, we it started at the end of the half. Really, kid Denzel Johnson had just a phenomenal play. He tipped the ball in the air and was able to get an interception, so that kept it at 21 at the half. I thought that was really big for us. We always work at end of half and end of game scenarios, both offensively and defensively. We do it every Thursday, and it's one of those things I tell the kids, man, is if that position, I mean that part of situational football, you're practicing it, and it's like game winning or game losing plays that you make. So that was huge. And then at the end, we decided to go for, a punt as opposed to go for it on fourth down. Trusting the defense that we can stop them from going on the long field. And once again, Denzel Johnson, they ran a little end around, and he did a great job of getting the tackle for loss, which essentially moved them back and made that field goal a lot harder. But it was a great game. Coach Jackson had those guys playing hard as expected. They jumped out on us 14-0, but it was a good SWAC game. We were fortunate to get out of there with a win.
Can you speak a little bit to the Andrew Body injury, your quarterback, but also how Tayshawn Smoot played for you, and how and I'm assuming he's going to start this game on Saturday against Texas Southern.
Yeah, Body is kind of it'll be like a week to week deal. It's something that's definitely can be rehabbed, and so we're looking forward to him getting back into that. Of course, he's done it twice, unfortunately, and so he knows how it goes. But for us, Smoot's going to be the guy, and have a lot of confidence in him. He ended the game last week. Has been great since he's been here in the spring. Works hard. Just been a great teammate. Just waiting his turn. When you're playing behind a guy that's like Body has been playing so well, it's not a lot of opportunities for you. But he's ready, and the defense and offense will be ready to go. Expecting a really good Texas Southern team to come in here and push us hard, and hopefully we can get out here with another win.
And then so far this season, you've had a really good running game. Holtzclaw, that's the one thing, and I want to talk a little bit more about this from a perspective of we're in the sort of the transfer portal era, but a lot of the guys you have are guys that have been part of the program, homegrown. Yes, you've plugged some guys here and there during the with the transfer portal. One of the guys I want to talk with you about, of course, is Bill, who's playing with the Commanders, and we'll talk about him a little bit later on. But Holtzclaw in particular, and then your running game as a whole is very, very good, averaging close to 225 yards rushing per game.
Yeah, man, we've had a couple, the big guys, they kind of talk me into whenever they get 300 yards rushing, and I owe them Golden Corral. So it's that's my treat to them. So I owe them this Sunday, not for this week, for a couple weeks ago. But Holtzclaw, Marcus Harris, those guys, Carl Ligon, those guys have been playing at a really high level, Kirkendall. So we have four guys that can really run the football. Very unusual situation that we have that amount of talent at that position. But Coach Lewis, he calls it a 3-3-4 stable, and it's really like a stable of guys, and they've been blessed to stay injury free, and we feel like all of them can be the guy. But Holtzclaw usually starts it off, and just a tremendous guy. He just goes out there, works hard down from that South Florida area, Coconut Creek High School, and he can be a dynamic running back. He can make you miss, get into the end zone, catch it, come out the backfield. So it's just fun watching him get better each year.
That the voice, of course, of Eddie Robinson Jr., the head football coach at Alabama State. He joins us here on Box to Row. The Hornets are #1 in the HBCU coaches and media polls. Has a home tilt on Saturday against Texas Southern, an important game in this SWAC race. For you, in terms of recruiting, can you kind of speak to that? I alluded to it a little bit earlier. A guy like a Holtzclaw, some of your other guys, Bill was a 4-year guy at Alabama State, but you also have some plug and play guys Andrew Body was a guy that you got out of the portal from Texas Southern, but you seem to have a really good balance in terms of homegrown guys, if you will, and then portal guys.
Yeah, man, I think the first year was a bunch of, Power Four, Power Five transfer kids just to kind of get the program going. But ultimately, I mean, you got to get those high school guys. We have Michael Moore, Desmond Penn, Elijah Baker. Those are three guys that are starting on our offensive line. Penn was a walk-on. All three of them were walk-ons. And so Penn was an all-conference guy last year. I feel like Baker is playing at all-conference level, which goes to the fact that you're getting younger guys and developing those guys into really good football players. Holsclaw was a kid that we got out of high school. So was Marcus Harris my first year. So this is his fourth year in the program. And so, but then you do have a couple of those guys. For us, man, we really like to get those transfer kids who are coming from another FCS school who have a lot of playing time. A lot of times if you get a Power 5 kid, if he's coming to our level, he hasn't played a whole lot. And so it's kind of like, yeah, you're big and you're strong and you're good in high school, but 3 years later, I don't know what I'm getting. So to me, I like to be able to turn on college football film and see a kid out there making plays. And those are the guys, to me, who you can be really successful with because you can see what they're actually doing.
Yeah, you mentioned FCS. You've got a kid, Jaleel Lenore, who we know
Yep.
very well here. I mean, out of Central State Division II. I mean, he was a tackling machine for the Marauders. You get him. He leads you in tackles this year.
Yeah, man, and really he got off to a slow start. We had another guy, Rudy Jean-Louis. Both of those guys were kind of playing and rotating, and Rudy got injured, and Jaleel just had a great Magic City Classic, and came back. I think he won MVP in that game. And then came back and had another good game against Prairie View and just Jackson State. So he really just showed up at the right time. But we knew he could play the whole time. Just a very confident guy, vocal leader. Got invited back to the Celebration Bowl. So it'll be fun, not the Celebration Bowl, but to the Legacy Bowl. So I'm speaking that thing into existence. But now he got invited to the Legacy Bowl, which is great for him. But that's a guy that's just been playing at a really high level and has just been a leader from day one. Some kids just have that natural leader instinct. So it's fun to watch him develop week after week.
Eddie Robinson Jr., he's the head football coach at Alabama State. He joins us here for a couple of more moments on the program. I'm interested to get your thoughts on this because you can play out the schedule as it is right now. I mean, at the end of the day, if Jackson State wins out, Jackson State's going to represent the East in the SWAC championship game, but there's a lot of football left to be played. That said, you've got a game at the end of the season, a big Turkey Day Classic. I mean, it's an annual event, right?
Right.
Boy, I mean, it disqualifies you from the FCS playoffs. I want to kind of get your thoughts. To me, this looks like a Hornets team that could really challenge in the FCS playoffs. I guess that probably is not going to happen, that this Turkey Day Classic is going to get moved, but I'm sure you're thinking, boy, we would have a serious opportunity if we had a chance at the FCS playoffs this year.
Well, I mean, for us, we were in that same situation back when I was at Alabama State. I think my junior year, we had a really good team, and Jackson State won the SWAC, and we didn't get to make it to the playoffs because of the Turkey Day Classic. And same thing my senior year. Back then, it was the first year of the Heritage Bowl. So definitely understand the aspect of the classics and the financial and the cultural aspect of it. It's something that's been around, man. We're like I think more than it was the 100th Turkey Day Classic last year. So this is like 101. It's the oldest historically Black college classic. So we understand the importance of that to this river region. But for us, I mean, we can really only focus on win today. And I know it's a scripted answer, but we need to focus on beating Texas Southern. And that's where we are with it. Everything else will sort itself out. But yeah, if it gets to that point where we can't, then hey, you just win the games that you have on your schedule, and next time don't lose to Jackson State.
Yeah, I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, it's tough football games. It's good football games. Really good football. I mean, it always is in the SWAC, but this year, really in particular, I think, because look, Bethune-Cookman's still in this thing. I mean, it's some really good football being played right now. Your thoughts on the Tigers and maybe some of the challenges that the Tigers present?
Well, I mean, for Texas Southern, I mean, it starts off with the running game, and they have two guys, a smaller kid running back that's really tough, man. He's a physical, powerful guy that can make you miss and then go the distance. So whenever you have a running game like that, as a coach, it makes you sit up and pay attention. So defensively, I mean, we have to control that. The quarterback can make a lot of the throws. Big, strong kid, doesn't run as much, but and have some talented receivers. So defensively, I mean, we'll have a matchup, and I think for their defense, man, they have a lot of those Power 5 looking guys, those 6'3", 225, 230. They definitely look the part. They're going to play hard, tough, physical, and so we got to go out there and really establish something early on. And Smoot has to settle down and play his game. The good thing is he's been in this thing for a while here. He's a veteran guy, so we expect to be able to use the whole playbook. And you're playing at home, so you got to go out there and play hard and give the guys something to cheer for, and go out there and find a way to get a W. I think in November you just find a way to win, whether it's by 1, 2, 5, 10, just find a way to win at the end of the game.
And then, of course, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, we alluded to him earlier on. Bill playing for, of course, the Commanders. Your thoughts. I know you're super proud of what he's doing with the Commanders and in the National Football League. And by the way, the path in which he got to the Commanders.
Yeah, I mean, he'll tell you, it was before I got here, but Coach Ely offered him a scholarship. We was the only scholarship offer he had coming out of Lanier High School. A lot of great players out of there. Tavares Jackson went to Lanier High School. Reggie Barlow went to Lanier High School, and all came through Alabama State. But I think it's one of those things that we have to tell our story as HBCUs. Even when those guys come here and they may go somewhere else, before they get to the NFL, we were still the ones that touched them, and we the ones that helped to develop them. And so that's a kid that's a local kid, Montgomery kid. Kind of already talked to him about getting a local camp here for the kids, and he's all on board with that. Kind of in the same realm of, when I and Reggie Barlow was doing the camp and Tavares Jackson was doing the camp. So I think he's embedded into the Montgomery community, which is a beautiful thing. And just love the way, when I was here with him and he was like, hey, coach, am I an NFL guy? What do I have to do? And so when a lot of those guys ask you that and you tell them, hey, this is what I suggest that you do A, B, C, and D. This is what works for me. And then when they go out there and do it and they have success, as a coach, as part of the mentor, it makes you feel really good that the kid was able to sacrifice and put in the hard work. And so he deserves everything he's getting because of how hard he's worked. And super proud of him. Looking forward to him to come back down here in the offseason and with him so he can share that experience with the guys on our team and other guys in the city of Montgomery.
Last thought, and we appreciate the time. Look, he's not playing this week, but we can't just gloss over 24 touchdowns and only 1 interception on the season. Leads the FCS in terms of pass efficiency. His 24-1, I think his second is the kid from Western Carolina. That's 26-1. Like ridiculous numbers for Andrew Body this year. Just your thoughts on the way he's playing for you this season.
Yeah, I mean, just coming off the injury and just working. I mean, first of all, you're talking about a kid that has an unbelievable faith, just believes in himself, just believes in the process, never complained. I've never seen him had a bad day. After some really bad injuries, a lot of times you can say, hey, man, what's going on? And the kid would be like, man, I don't understand. He's just like, hey, man, I'm blessed, coach. I'm just grateful for the opportunity. So it's a guy that you love to root for, but he's just been so efficient. He just makes the right decisions. And I think I always tell my players, and especially the quarterback, consistently good equals great. If you can be consistently good over an entire ball game, make the right decisions. Don't worry about the outcome. Make the right decision, and usually the outcome will work out. And so you pair that with a good offensive line and some talented receivers, and that's the outcome. So hoping to get him back soon. Want to get him out there again next year, see if we can get this thing rolling again. But a big part of the SWAC football, man, he can really be a SWAC legend just with the numbers that he's putting up already and the fact that he still has another year.
Yeah, got quite a bit done at Texas Southern as well. Eddie Robinson Jr., the head football coach of the Alabama State Hornets, joining us here on BOXTOROW. The Hornets host Texas Southern in an important game on Saturday. Coach Robinson, we appreciate the time. Continued success to you and the Hornets.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I appreciate everything that you do as far as covering HBCU football, the SWAC, and the other conferences with the coaches poll and everything else that you're doing on a daily basis. So, man, you're part of the family, man. Good work.